All right, let's talk about CJ Stroud, the rookie quarterback playing in his first game. This was a fun play. Is it an important play? No, not at all. But it's fun, and I want to start off with a fun play before we get into more of the actual analysis and stuff. This play, it's a second down and 5, but this is going to be his first passing attempt of his career. That's what's going to happen on this one. As you see, he's going to throw one up, it gets batted up, and he catches it. So, hey, his first pass completion, first pass attempt in general, was a completion to himself. Brett Favre, famously, his first pass attempt was a pick 6, and then his first completion was, a completion to himself. So, hey, maybe not the worst company to be in. I don't know. Fun play, but let's talk about what happened. There was good and there was bad in this game, and sometimes on the same play. So what's going to happen on this one is, first we have to talk about the blocking concept. So the offensive line is blocking to the left, but what's also worth noting is that there isn't a halfback in the backfield or a tight end who could block on this play. Everyone is out wide, so at this point, the only players who are blocking are the 5 offensive linemen, and for Baltimore, they have 6 potential pass rushers, meaning for the guy I've circled in white, if they all rush the passer, he would be able to get a straight shot to Stroud. But not only do they have to do that to try to get a straight shot to Stroud, there's other ways that they could get a straight shot, including just simply if the offensive line is blocking towards the left, then it's almost guaranteed to be a straight shot to Stroud, which is what's happening. So watch as when those 3 from the top of the screen rush the passer, the guy I circled gets picked up by the tackle, because that's what you're supposed to do, block from the inside to the outside, but now the edge rusher has gotten a straight shot to Stroud, and Stroud does notice this, and to his credit, he notices this. Granted, he should notice this. This is something that, as a quarterback, you just have to be aware of, and to be honest, I wouldn't have even hated it if he got his halfback to come back and be in position to make a block if they needed it. I don't think that would have been a terrible idea, and still have him run a route if they don't need it. There was 20 seconds left on the play clock, so they had time to set the protection if he wanted, but at the very least, you have to be aware of a potential pass rusher here. So you could argue this is a negative, but now for the positive. Watch as Stroud somehow gets out of that sack and is able to make a throw off balance and pick up what appeared to be a first down. There was a penalty, so didn't end up mattering, but really good play from Stroud, and he definitely showed the flashes of really good plays. Like, this one's another one where what's going to happen on this play. So again, it's going to be a blitz here. It's Baltimore. I mean, that's a tough first task for a young quarterback to play against Baltimore. It's not quite Bill Belichick, but it's not that far away. You see that, the halfback is now in position to make a block here on a 3rd and 16. Watch as when this play begins, you're going to see that the block is just made at the last second. Stroud kind of goes towards the outside, getting as much time as possible in a bit of a tough spot. But you're going to see him off balance, make a catchable ball. Would have been a tough play, so I'm not saying it's a drop or anything, but a catchable ball off balance that would have gone for a first down on 3rd and 16. So again, it's your first start. It's the little victories you're looking for. And for the most part, I did think that despite the stat line not being great, he looked pretty good out there. Also, stuff like this, I thought he was just kind of doing the game manager stuff relatively well in this one, where what's going to happen is it's man coverage, and it's basically just like a rub route, where you have a tight end kind of get in the way of the defensive back who's supposed to cover your receiver who's going to run over the middle. That's the way this play is designed to work. Okay, cool, makes sense. The wide receiver on this play that he's going to look towards is Robert Woods, who, accomplished receiver, definitely has talent. Let's see how it works out. So, Stroud takes the snap, he is going to look over the middle, and Robert Woods is able to gain some separation. I mean, for sure. So, this is not a high degree of difficulty play. It is a 3rd down and 1, so an important play, but not the highest degree of difficulty play. But still, Stroud puts it right on the money, and you're able to pick up a decent chunk play right there. And at the end of the day, that is kind of what you want from a rookie quarterback, right? The first step is the easy step of, can you just be a solid game manager? Can you get timing routes down? Can you just hit these over the middle routes when guys are getting open? Do you notice it? Do you pull the trigger when you have to pull the trigger? For the most part, I thought he did. Like, this one was, you could argue this was his best play, even though it's kind of a weird play to consider someone's best play. So the way it works is it's a man coverage play. You have a one-on-one matchup on the outside. So right off the bat, if a single safety deep, these are plays you like to look towards. Because you could, if they're running a go route, get a big chunk play. But even in this scenario where you're not running a go route, well, the corner has to be prepared for a potential go route, which gives you an advantage. So this is Tank Dell who's going to be running this route. And, okay, it makes sense. It can work. Watch as when Stroud takes the snap, he looks off first, gets the safety out of position, or at least doesn't allow the safety to get into position to try and make a play. Not that that would have really mattered on this play, I don't think either way. But when the ball comes, I mean, you see Tank Dell is stopped, but the defensive back is still trying to get back, which tells you two things. Really good play from Dell, obviously. But it also tells you that it was really well timed by CJ Stroud. Stroud is throwing this football at the exact time you want to throw the football. And for young quarterbacks, timing is probably the most difficult thing to get down. It ironically takes time to get that down, and usually the quarterbacks that have success right away at the NFL level are the ones who get this down, and the quarterbacks that just end up being complete bust usually don't have this down, and he had this down. Like, look, he was able to make a perfectly accurate throw on top of it. This is a really exciting play. Again, it's not a highlight reel level play. This is something you expect a 10-year vet to just make, quite frankly, but he's not a 10-year vet. He's a rookie, and so you do consider these sort of different expectations, and I did think that for the most part, he was hitting his throws and he was making some solid plays. This was not a perfect performance by any means. Like, this play is a good example of just some rookie mistakes, some, oh, what are you doing, bud, types of plays that we definitely saw out there from Stroud. It's going to be a play action. Stroud's going to roll out towards the bottom of the screen. That's the way this play is going to work. And right off the bat, it gets blown up. A really good defensive play by 99 for Baltimore to kind of make contact with the tight end that Stroud wanted to throw to. You're behind the line of scrimmage, so that's legal. No worry about a penalty there. So good stuff, I thought. And at this point for Stroud, this play's pretty much blown up. I mean, you don't really have a guy to throw to. So, got to figure something out. Ideally, got to just throw this ball away. Instead, Stroud basically just, I think he thought he had more time. And to be honest, at the college level, he could still make guys miss and still have a bit more time. It just doesn't work at the NFL level. These are rookie mistakes you do expect him to make, but still you hope he doesn't. And really, you hope these are just learning experiences. At the end of the day, for someone like CJ Stroud, I do feel like, while you look at the stat line, it doesn't look overwhelmingly great. And again, I'm not saying it was great, but for someone playing in his first performance, I think there was a lot more positives to take away from this than negatives to take away from this. Again, I'm not someone who looks at the box score and just says, oh, well, if you didn't have a good passer rating, you had a bad day. I think that those stats aren't necessarily bad or things you shouldn't use in a big sample size, like over the course of a season. But in select games, every week there's going to be probably 5 or 6, if not more, misleading stat lines. And for someone like CJ Stroud, I thought it was a bit misleading. Not to say that it wasn't terrible either, but it wasn't great. I thought that he was better though than the stat line showed, and just showed me some things that get me optimistic that future stat lines could be even better than that. And I think he's on the right path. Is kind of how I viewed all of this. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.